Do you feel like long haul flights when you're buckled into a narrow seat for 10 hours of discomfort, bad food, and jet lag once you get there are just something that you have to endure? Well, if you want to travel, you're kind of stuck with some of those things. But I've done a lot of international flying over the years, and I've picked up a few tricks to make it not just tolerable, but actually relaxing. Yes, relaxing. Let's talk about how to survive long haul flights, solo or otherwise, and even arrive feeling like yourself on the other end. First, get ready before you board. The first step to a better flight starts before you even get on the plane. Check in early. I generally use the airline app to do this, but you can also log on to the airline's website with your reservation number and your last name. Check-in usually opens exactly 24 hours before the flight time, and the airline usually sends you an email saying that the flight is now open for check-in. I always do this as soon as the check-in window opens. Sometimes I set an alarm on my phone if necessary to make sure that I don't miss this early opportunity that gives me a better chance of getting a seat that suits me best. Usually, if I've booked an economy fare, I'm pre-assigned a middle seat. That option kind of makes my heart sink. But if I check in early, I can usually switch to another seat that I might like better. And when you're traveling solo, you only need to find one seat to change, so that makes it a bit easier. Now, you might prefer a window seat where you can put your pillow up against the window and sleep a little bit better, or watch with excitement as Palermo appears over the wing of your plane. But I like to snag an aisle seat so that I can easily get up and stretch my legs without disturbing the other passengers. When I'm checking in, I look for an aisle seat that has an empty seat beside it. And if I'm lucky, particularly if the flight is not full, that middle seat sometimes stays empty. A bit more elbow room goes a long way toward making the flight much more comfortable. Or if you pay a bit more for your fare, you can have the opportunity of selecting your seat at the time of your booking. Cabin temperatures are a little bit unpredictable. Sometimes they feel like a fridge, and at other times they feel like a sauna. So I suggest that you dress in layers. When I'm coming back from traveling somewhere hot, I always pack a light long sleeve top that's easily accessible in my knapsack in case I need it on a cool plane. Before I buckle up, I pull out anything that I think I might want mid flight: earplugs, wired and wireless headphones, an eye mask, maybe a book or phone charger wires. I don't want to be digging through the overhead bin mid flight if I can avoid it. And you can't always be sure that every plane will have an electrical outlet or a USB charging port, so I'm always sure to bring along a portable charger just in case I might need it on a long flight. And once you're in the air, well, hydration matters. Airplane cabins are dry. I sip water regularly, even if it means an extra trip to the washroom. It's worth it. I'm not a great sleeper on the plane, but I do find that wearing an eye mask is one of the few things that really helps me to sleep a little bit better. Combine it with earplugs, and hopefully you can zone out for a few hours. Blood clots caused by sitting for long periods with your legs flexed are a small but a real risk. I always try to walk the aisle a few times. Even just standing for a bit near the galley helps. Doing some calf muscle exercises while you're in your seat also helps to keep the circulation flowing. Movement is your friend on long flights. And try to time your washroom visits to avoid busy times. I try to go before the food service or when everyone else is watching a movie. There's nothing worse than waiting in a long lineup when everyone else is hovering around the lavatory in the last 45 minutes of the flight. Now, how about jet lag and adjusting to a new time zone? Well, jet lag is part of the deal, but you can ease into it. Melatonin, some people swear by it. Personally, I've tried it and I don't find it makes much difference. What helps me more is daylight. When I arrive, I try to get outdoors. Bright sunlight signals your brain that it's time to reset. Your body may grumble for 2 or 3 days, but it'll adjust. Eat and sleep on local time as soon as you can. I usually avoid long naps the first day. A short walk and a light dinner help me push through until bedtime. Do you have any tricks that you've learned to help avoid jet lag? I'd love to hear them if you do. Leave your suggestion in the comments. Now, here's a couple of don'ts. First of all, don't wander up the aisle to the washroom in your sock feet, and certainly not barefoot. Even at your seat, the floor is not really clean, and the lavatory floor, well, just don't. I don't rely on the in flight system for anything important. Sometimes your monitor doesn't work, or the whole system is down for a bit, or that person in front of you reclines their chair back so that the screen is right at your nose, which is not comfortable for watching TV. If it works, it's okay. But if it's not, I've got backup on my phone or my iPad. I always preload a couple of movies onto my iPad and my phone, and a few podcasts in case I want to just close my eyes and listen. Sure, they take up a bit of storage space on your device, but you can easily erase them once you've watched them. Alcohol is dehydrating, and it can make it harder to sleep or adjust, so don't overdo it. I might enjoy one gin and tonic on a long flight, but that's it. And yes, I know, I'd probably be better off with just the tonic. Now, here's the surprising part. Once I'm through security and sitting at the gate, I actually find flying kind of relaxing. It's one of the few times where I don't need to make decisions or solve problems or even check my watch. You're in the hands of the flight crew. Just follow the announcements and enjoy the downtime. So, next time you're facing a 9 or 12-hour flight, try a few of these tips. Pack smart, hydrate, and don't forget to stretch. It might just change the way that you feel about long haul travel. If you've got some tips that you've learned for surviving long haul flights, please share them in the comments. Every suggestion helps. And be sure to like and subscribe if you're interested in hearing more about my travel experiences and some of the hacks that I've learned along the way. Safe travels, and see you next time.